Hi everyone, my name is Rose Ngare. I'm doing a presentation on the impact of using social media platforms to enhance the relationship between faculty and undergraduate students. Welcome. The significance of the topic is that it addresses two basic issues: the usefulness of social media platforms in the learning setting and the role of the faculty-student relationship. The relationship between teachers and students is considered the core of the teaching profession. The basic view is that teachers tend to affect the lives of learners not only by what they teach them, but also by how they associate with them, and this is according to Tennant and others, 2010. Good teachers, in this case, comprehend the essence of forming caring relationships with the learners. A significant aspect highlighted by Tennant and others, 2010, is that the relationship between a teacher and a student is mostly focuses on meeting the needs of the students. Nonetheless, it is argued that undergraduate students are less likely to interact frequently with their instructors when compared to graduate students, and an aspect that limits the progress and potential of some of the students. And this is according to Whitney and Nave, 2020. With that in mind, the issue to examine using the action research process is the effect of social media platforms to enhance the interaction or relationship between faculty and undergraduate students in a freshman class at a given institution. The assumption is that the use of social media platform is highly likely to enable the faculty to know a good number of students in his or her class and to be able to address more issues raised by students. The goals that I wish to accomplish with this action research plan is, as mentioned earlier, the significance of the topic and address two basic issues: the usefulness of social media platforms in the learning setting and the role of faculty-student relationship. Thus, the goals that I would wish to accomplish with this action research plan are: 1. To identify the usefulness of social media platforms in the classroom setting, and 2. To identify the role of the social media platforms to enhance the relationship between faculty and undergraduate students. Who do I intend to involve? I will involve the stakeholders to include in the analysis the freshman students doing a particular unit and the instructor responsible for the unit. The obstacles that I foresee in my that might hinder my program or my plan is that social media platforms integrate into the study in Facebook due to its popularity, and this sometimes brings problems. The assumption is that a majority of the students have Facebook accounts, and this obstacle that are highly likely to be experienced include some of the students not willing to associate with the instructor due to privacy reasons, and some not having social media accounts on the selected platforms. Some students also tend to take time once they are on Facebook to do other things other than focus on the topic in mind. The solution or intervention that I purpose to implement include: the best solution to the problem is to recommend the formation of a class group account whereby the students will be allowed to interact with each other and with the instructor through the group without having the issue of friend requests for them to be able to interact. The focus in this case will be on the level of interaction in the group and the type of interactions taking place among the students in Facebook or any other social media. The plan will entail dividing the number of students into groups with a maximum of 10 members since the class is quite large. The plan will follow the action research phases of plan, act, observe, and reflect. The planning phase entails highlighting what one needs to learn about the topic of interest, the genesis of the practice, the reason or reasons for selecting the practice, and the assumptions associated with teaching and learning as per the practice, and this is according to Bell-Cahoe 2018. The basic idea is that the phase entails proposing an action or actions to address the issue of interest. The acting phase is defined by how the practice is working in terms of a researcher committing to act based on the identified practice within a given time frame. It entails implementing the identified plan such that the circle begins again by observing, recording, and sharing information. The phase also entails engaging with the involved participants, especially through the collection of data. This is according to Bell-Cahoe 2018. The observing phase is defined by conducting qualitative and quantitative evaluations of both. The phase entails monitoring and providing a description of the issue of interest. Useful data, in this case, is recorded and stored. The reflecting phase entails reviewing and replanning the process. The observation, in this case, are interpreted with the aim of comprehending the issue of interest. How do I measure the effectiveness of my plan? The plan will be effectively measured through the issue of pre-surveys and post-surveys, course assignments, pre-reflecting writings and post-reflecting writings, lesson plans, post-course evaluations as by the student's view, post-class group interview consisting of the students, and a survey regarding the interaction through Facebook. Also, qualitative data will be continuously coded every time it is collected through the utilization of the constant comparative analysis method. The goal is to frequently examine the existing data and make comparisons with the new data and facilitate categorizations as by how the information have been coded. This according to Barnes 2016. Using the techniques mentioned above, it would be easier to examine the effectiveness of social media platforms in enhancing relationship between faculty and undergraduate students. I hope I hope you have understood my presentation, and if not, I will avail handouts that you can look through. My references have been taken from Barnes HL, Learning Sustainability Leadership, an Action Research Study of Graduate Leadership course. and also from Belkenham and 2018 English Teacher Performance Through Education Process Standard, and also from Tennant and Mackelman and Caslow D, Teaching, Learning and Research in Higher Education, and Whitney and Lessons from University and K-12 Classrooms. Thank you for listening to me.